There is a quiet strength that most people never truly notice, a strength so subtle that to the untrained eye, it may look like nothing at all. But it is far from nothing. It is the power of never explaining yourself. From a young age, most of us are trained to justify everything. Our choices, our timing, our boundaries, our silence. We are taught that if we explain enough, people will understand us. That if we clarify our intentions, if we provide context, if we over-communicate, then perhaps the world will finally see us as we see ourselves. But the truth is simpler and far more uncomfortable. People don't misunderstand you because you failed to explain. They misunderstand you because they have already decided what they want to believe. Their minds are not open for your reasoning. Their hearts are not waiting for your explanation. And every word you offer hands them power. Every justification you provide signals that their opinion matters more than your peace. And once you step into that space, you begin to get trapped in endless clarification, defending decisions that never needed permission in the first place, apologizing for choices that were never wrong. You start explaining yourself to prove your worth, to correct perceptions, to make someone else comfortable. And in doing so, you hand over your authority. Strong people move differently. They don't rush to correct every false assumption. They don't scramble to clean up every misinterpretation. They understand something that is rarely taught. Clarity is not created by words. Clarity is revealed over time through consistency. Words fade, actions endure. When you explain yourself to the wrong people, you don't gain understanding. You lose authority. The more you speak, the more room you give others to debate, twist, and dilute your truth. Every additional sentence becomes a lever they can use. Every justification becomes a doorway into manipulation. Silence, on the other hand, closes the door. It communicates clearly without aggression. I am comfortable standing in my decisions, even if you do not like them. Never explaining yourself doesn't mean you are cold, arrogant, or dismissive. It means you are grounded. It means you know who you are without needing witnesses to confirm it. It means your identity is not negotiable. Notice how confident people respond under pressure. They don't argue. They don't overjustify. They don't chase validation. They pause. They listen. And then, without seeking agreement, they move forward. That restraint unsettles others, not because it is rude, but because it is rare. You are not obligated to explain your growth to people who benefited from your silence. You are not required to justify boundaries to those who cross them. And you are not responsible for correcting narratives created in rooms you were never meant to enter. Peace arrives when you realize this. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every opinion deserves a response. Your life is not a courtroom. You do not need to present evidence to exist as you choose. The power of never explaining yourself is not about winning arguments. It is about refusing to participate in battles that cost you your self-respect. When you stop explaining, you start living, and the world adjusts accordingly. Silence is a strategy, not weakness. It is the calm decision to observe instead of react, to remain grounded instead of being pulled into emotional chaos. Weakness feels loud because it is desperate to be understood. Strength is quiet because it is already certain. When you choose silence, you deny others the power to provoke you into explanations you do not owe. You protect your energy, your clarity, and your self-respect. Silence allows you to see people clearly, how they behave when they do not receive the reaction they expected. In that stillness, intentions are revealed. Truth rises on its own. Silence is not avoidance. It is control. It means you trust your actions to speak over time rather than rushing to defend yourself in the moment. Those who matter will understand without words. Those who do not were never seeking understanding to begin with. By staying silent, you create space for wisdom to guide your next move instead of emotion dictating it. In a world that rewards noise, silence becomes power. It keeps you composed when others unravel. It strengthens your presence without demanding attention. And in the end, silence teaches the most important lesson of all. You do not need to explain your worth to anyone who cannot see it. Explanations often invite unnecessary judgment because the moment you begin to explain, you place your choices on trial. What was once a personal decision becomes open for analysis, criticism, and opinion. People who were never affected by your actions feel entitled to evaluate your reasons, your timing, your intentions. The more you explain, the more you expose yourself to interpretations that were never meant to serve you. Instead of clarity, explanations often create confusion. Everyone filters your words through their own biases, emotions, and experiences. When you justify yourself, you unintentionally signal doubt, as if your decisions require external approval to be valid. And judgment thrives wherever permission is implied. Silence leaves no room for debate. It draws a firm boundary. Your life does not need a panel of opinions to move forward. People who judge were rarely seeking understanding. They were seeking control or reassurance of their own beliefs. By withholding explanations, you reclaim authority over your narrative. Peace grows when you accept that not every mind is meant to agree with you, and not every choice is meant to be understood. Your actions speak louder than justifications. Behavior carries a truth that words can never fully protect or disguise. You can explain intentions endlessly, But people ultimately believe what they consistently see, not what they are told. Justifications are temporary, shaped by emotion and circumstance. Actions leave a lasting imprint. When your choices align with your values, no explanation is required. The evidence is already present in how you move, decide, and respond. Over-explaining weakens your position. Decisive action builds quiet credibility. It shows confidence, clarity, and self-trust. People may question your words, but they rarely argue with consistent results. When you allow your actions to speak, you remove the need to persuade, defend, or convince. Those who watch closely will understand without being told. Those who misunderstand were never paying attention in the first place. Life rewards alignment, not argument. Every step you take in integrity becomes a statement stronger than any justification. Over time, your silence paired with steady action becomes your reputation. Explanations become unnecessary because the truth is already visible to everyone who matters. Not everyone deserves access to your reasons. Your inner world is private. Decisions are shaped by experiences, values, and lessons others may never understand, and they do not need to. Explaining indiscriminately blurs the line between transparency and self-betrayal. Some questions are not asked to understand, but to assess, control, or manipulate. Giving reasons hands them something they have not earned. Choosing not to explain does not mean hiding something wrong. It means protecting something valuable. Your reasoning reflects growth, awareness, and discernment. Discretion allows freedom without carrying the weight of unnecessary validation. Those who care respect your boundaries without demanding justification. Those who pressure reveal themselves. Peace comes from selective openness, not constant explanation. You are allowed to choose who hears your story, who understands your motives, and who observes results. Life moves more smoothly when your reasons remain your own. Confidence grows when you stop seeking approval. Approval places your self-worth in others' hands. True confidence is internal, built through trust in judgment and acceptance of imperfection. When you stop asking permission to be yourself, you begin to stand taller in your choices. Seeking approval disguises itself as humility or politeness, but beneath it lies fear of rejection, misunderstanding, or disapproval. Releasing that fear creates freedom. You act from alignment rather than anxiety. You choose what feels right, not what looks acceptable. Your presence strengthens when you are grounded in self-belief instead of dependence. Your voice steadies. Your actions become intentional. You no longer over-explain, apologize unnecessarily, or dilute your truth. Those who respect confidence gravitate toward you. Those who relied on self-doubt feel discomfort, but that discomfort is not your responsibility. Confidence is quiet certainty. Boundaries are reinforced by calm restraint, not loud explanations or emotional reactions. Responding with composure communicates strength without confrontation. Calm restraint signals limits are non-negotiable. Even when challenged, people test boundaries when they sense uncertainty. Clarity delivered quietly leaves little room for argument. Absence of drama removes the reward for those who push or seek control. Raised voices, over-justifying defensive language suggest flexibility. Calm restraint signals security. Steady tone, measured responses, and willingness to disengage speak volumes. Boundaries become part of presence, not a topic for debate. You don't threaten or convince. You act in alignment with your values. Over time, people learn what is tolerated and what is quietly refused. Consistency builds respect more effectively than confrontation. Calm restraint protects peace while reinforcing limits. It reminds everyone, including yourself, that boundaries are strongest when upheld with quiet confidence and self-control. The power of never explaining yourself lies in choosing peace over pressure, self-respect over approval. Silence becomes strength. Actions become your language. Calm restraint becomes your shield. When you stop justifying, you reclaim control over your time, energy, and identity. Not everyone deserves your reasons. Not every opinion requires a response. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Confidence grows when you trust yourself. Boundaries become unshakable when upheld quietly. This way of living is not about ego or distance. It is about clarity, dignity, and inner stability. Stand firm without explanation. Move through life with authority and peace. Allow your results to speak on your behalf.